Okay, I'm live. All right. Hi, everybody. This is She That Exists with She That Exists, her story channel. And this is She That Exists. And I'm also Reverend Carrie D. Stone because I am the founder and owner of She That Exists and She That Exists, her story channel on this wonderful platform that has supported me in my endeavors as a creative, conscious, creator centered, visionary mystic. So, metaphysical practitioner, zoologist, uh, former child performer in the performance arts, dance, theater, gymnastics, um, different sports, you name it. My life has just been this full journey, just full journey. So I came on here for a few special announcements. And the special announcements that I came on here for, one, because it's my mama's birthday. All right. So I'm just gonna sing to my mom happy birthday first of all, because it's my mom's birthday, and I always forget what exact year she was born. If I always get like one number off, so I don't know if it's my mom's 70th birthday today or my mom's 71st birthday to me. But even when like my mom was like the maddest at me, uh when she was still connected to consciousness, uh, she would at least text or maybe email. When she was really mad at me one time, she sent my happy birthday message through an acquaintance friend that I had at the time instead of directly to me. So, either way, with that being said, I'm I'm not like the best at singing happy birthday. I'm not going to like get all into like professional style singing or anything like that. Because my singing voice, I haven't sung in a while, but I'll share about all that because it's in the announcements that I'm making. Um, so with that being said, I'm going to sing happy birthday to my mom first. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear mama. I don't think she'd want me to say her name, so I'm just saying mom. Happy birthday to you. Okay, so happy birthday, mom. I do love you very, very much. So so much to talk about. Especially just from saying happy birthday to my mom. My mom's birthday is easy to remember because it's always the day after Halloween. And so at least she wasn't born like on Halloween. Anyway, with that being said, announcements. So last night, no, 2 nights ago, I was at a restaurant. And even though I wasn't supposed to be at that restaurant because I have a personal trainer right now and I'm supposed to be on a strict diet, I was craving a certain kind of food. However, I'm not going to be hard on myself because my dharma is gentleness. And so my lessons in life have just been to be more gentle with the self. So while I was at that restaurant, like I saw this mom and her daughter, and I could tell that she was involved in some type of competitive thing. And they were talking to maybe like a coach or something because they were asking the person that they were talking to, what this girl, like, she's in high school or maybe just out of high school or maybe like a senior. She wanted to know what her statistics look like on her social media. And so maybe they were talking to someone who helps improve people's social media, somebody that they paid for that. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is interesting because I whenever I had the Moonflower show, I'm also the former creative director, organizer, host and MC and founder of a live community show called the Moonflower Show. And my upstart was production company was the Rainmakers Productions. This is before I didn't have, any experience doing that. It was just I received a vision from God, creator, um, Yah in Hebrew, it's Yah, the giver of life. And I just obeyed, you know? And so through that obedience of listening to the vision that I had received from God, my soul speaking to me, because Creator created us as infinite souls, and we're souls in a divinely intelligent body. So through listening to that, then the show, the Moonflower Show, it came to be. There were two shows, and I learned a lot of lessons, and I learned a lot. I learned through that the dark side of people come out, that people don't have the purest intentions, that there are a lot of people who exploit people. And then I learned through that people will pretend to be your friends and steal from you, right in your face, while pretending to be your friend, and do bad things while pretending to be your friend. So I have a lot of wisdom through that experience, and I didn't have parents, who shared those things with me. Those are um, wisdom jewels that I can call my own, that belong to me, that nobody can take those wisdom jewels from me. And there's a lot of wisdom that I learned from those experiences that I'm not sharing, but the wisdom that I learned through that's what I have to share with the clients that I coach. I spend a lot of my energy, and I'm so done spending my energy trying to help people who don't want to get better. I don't like to use last names, but I'll just share some examples of Kate in England. There are plenty of Kates, so it doesn't matter. So Kate in England, always like came into one of my inboxes as a true soul. However, Kate in England, after like I'd say 4 or 5 years, Kate in England never changed. Kate in England loves her addictions. Kate in England loves to get, on whatever she's on, and then she kind of gets high off of that, and then connects to her soul self that way. And then when she doesn't, have the drug or whatever she's on, or the alcohol or whatever, then she goes, into this unconscious state, and she's disconnected. And Kate in England prefers to be an addict. And Kate in England confessed to me that she's an addict. So I don't waste my time on people like that anymore, because Kate in England was able to get work in an artsy style cafe, and she did not even send me a donation or a thank you, not even $1, for all that I was investing in her to help her heal from intergenerational trauma. So my PhD candidacy is family pastoral counseling and psychology. And I would say, and I say this very humbly, but I would say that I am an expert and authority in the field when it comes to clearing intergenerational trauma. Now, I have a lot of real life experience to go with that. And my journey in consciousness started in 2012. That's when the door opened up for me in my journey in consciousness, which since then, I mean, let's see, 13 years later, it's just been ever evolving, moving forward. And Creator God, Yah, will not let me go back to the past. See, we live in this body, and the ever eternal present moment is now. Anybody who even tunes into my channel is going to get some wisdom if they're willing and open to receive it, and if their soul is on the frequency of tuning into knowledge, tuning into wisdom, learning, growing. Okay, so I had to get that out because everything that I share is valuable. So, okay, our bodies are divinely intelligent. I have a friend, her husband had a surgery, been in the hospital, and oh my gosh, our bodies are so divinely intelligent. We have all these organs, and they're so connected, and everything flows just perfectly. Like, we don't even have to tell our body, hey, move that blood around, circulate system. We don't have to tell our circulatory system to circulate. So if that's not divine intelligence, and there's not a creator and divine intelligence, what people call God, and in Hebrew it's Yah, the giver of life, then I don't know what to tell people. So, but with that being said, our minds, okay, our minds are the ultimate time travelers, right? Because we could travel into the past with our minds, we could travel into the future and see our future self with our minds, create our future with our minds. We could be in the present moment with our minds and say, in this present moment, I'm picking up this cell phone. In this present moment, I'm just brushing my hair. In this present moment, got this brush. Da, 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 da. So anyway, these are examples. All right. So we co-create with creator, right? Because we're created in creator's image, right? So we're not the creator. We are begats of the creator. And I was speaking to one of my friends, who I would consider just an elder that I absolutely respect and love and appreciate and value. And I said, why did God create us? Why did God create us? And he said, because God thought that we would enjoy, being humans and being on earth and living here. And I thought to myself, yeah, when I look back at all the good times, yeah. But then when I look back at all the bad times and the not just like the struggle, but the letdowns, like when you get let down by people that you love. And I've been let down by people that I love. I've been let down by plenty of people that I love. I've been let down by my family. I've been let down by my parents. I've been let down by my former husband. I've been let down by people that I trusted, people that I thought knew me. But then I realized, like, yeah, no, like, go deeper into that later. So our minds are these ultimate time travelers. So we're mind, we're body, and spirit, right? So when people let you down or you get a broken heart, then your spirit gets wounded, okay? And I was raised by dad who did not acknowledge anything about the mental or the spiritual aspects of being human. He's a Vietnam veteran, so major, like, veteran army programming. Had to unprogram myself from all that. So that's another way I know about generational trauma, is because I had to undo the programming from generational trauma because of my dad's programming in Vietnam. So if you are a daughter or a family member of a Vietnam veteran and you would like to reach out to me for services, I offer conscious consulting services in that area, as well as my metaphysical practitioner services and spiritual counseling. Because I am an ordained minister, I am also a metaphysical practitioner. And as a metaphysical practitioner, we help people in the mental realm, the emotional realm, spiritual, and of course that translates into the material and the physical. Great. So with that being said, our mind is this place of time travel, okay? And we can do whatever we want because it's our mind, right? And with our minds, it's really important to know that you have control and dominion over your own mind. Okay. Now, there are people who will try to take control and dominion over your mind. That's what the programming is. When people try to program you, is they break you so they can control and dominate and take over. This is what mind control is. This is what brainwashing is. Okay. This is a part and parcel of my life's work with my mastery in consciousness and my degrees in the metaphysical fields and my PhD candidacy work. So people who are your handlers or controllers or abusers or even false systems of control and enslavement, the first thing they're going to try to do is break your spirit, like they break a horse, right? And this is what people will do to abuse children. Okay, like if somebody is more of a sadistic, narcissistic personality type, this is what different religions will do. Satanism is considered a religion, and Satanists will do that. Luciferians will do that. A lot of the darker paths will do that to young children because children don't really know, what's going on. They're not really aware of that. So, but then also I have people who her name starts with a T. I won't say the full name, but I was trying to help this particular female who's also a mom and putting a lot of my energy and helping her without, getting a thank you, without, being sent, even a donation, calling it friendship. Those days are over. And those days are over. And realizing that some people don't even have control of their own minds. They're on mind control drugs that control their mind, whether they're prescriptions or not, right? We got to look at the dangers of prescription drugs as well, okay? If you look up the word pharmakia, okay, pharmaceutical, pharmakia, just look it up for yourself, do your own diligence, do your own research. I try to get everybody to, the Bible calls it seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Okay. The way I word it is do your own education, do your own research, seek out knowledge for yourself to save your own soul, to be able to connect to yourself with consciousness. So look up pharmakia and etymology and put it in the chat and tell me what the root word and etymology of pharmakia means. So T's on a bunch of pharmaceuticals and she's not willing to take control of her own life. And she's not willing to take control of her own health. And she doesn't even have control of her own mind. Now, if you don't have control of your own mind and your own thoughts, okay, then you're disconnected from God. You're disconnected from consciousness. You're disconnected from Creator. You're disconnected from all of life. You're not doing yourself any good. You're not doing your children any good. You're not doing your family members any good. You're not doing your lineage any good. You're not doing your generations any good. Okay? Home is where mom is. Always. So, mind, body, spirit. All right. I do offer consulting services. I do offer coaching services. I do offer metaphysical practitioner services. I am here to serve, just not for free and not in the capacity of everybody's friend anymore. I'm my own best friend. All right. So moving on to the next subject. Okay. The next announcement is that I am redesigning the website, SheThatExists. Okay, redesigning. And I'm going to have a media section for all the different media that I have been a part. In the last couple weeks, I have gotten uh, 2 invitations for 2 different interviews. Um, so I thought, yeah, okay. I'm not, the way I see it is I'm not out there, seeking certain things. However, I have been mandated and ordained and commissioned by God to step fully into my calling, into my purpose. My oath is to God/life. I love the word creator. It's deeply meaningful to me. I've been deeply on my Hebrew path for a while, so I say Yah, the giver of life. However, my oath is to God/life. And as a part of that, and small part of that, it's fully embodying my purpose and my reason for being. Now, my number one purpose and reason for being is to see this life through for my daughter, to just see it all through and walk it all out for my daughter. Okay, because I've had to deal with a lot with her dad, and I offer coaching for that, and counseling is that for that as well. Metaphysical counseling and spiritual counseling and conscious counseling for that, because I know as men or women or husbands and wife, when we have children and we have a spouse or a partner that has just completely gone rogue for whatever reason, they didn't keep their vows, they didn't keep their commitments, they didn't keep their promises. Um, in the Pentecostal church, they call it backsliding. And and so when you make your promises and your oath and your marriage before God, you really got to keep that. And I thought, it'd be temporary. And he'd come to his senses, right? But sometimes they don't come to their senses. It takes them a while to figure out what life is all about. So I do offer spiritual counseling and coaching and metaphysical practitioner services for those situations as well. Um, so doing it for my daughter, because I'm a promise keeper and I'm not a liar. And you walk things out and you see things through, no matter how many challenges you have to go through, no matter how many heartbreaks you go through, no matter if you get support from your family members or fake friends or not. You just keep going. You keep moving forward. You rest when you need to rest. Rest is critical. Rest is so important. Rest is so important. Okay, the body talks. So with that being said, I'm just gonna make it simple, because someone said it's too wordy. Well, that makes sense, because I am a writer and I am an author. I've been celebrating my sixth international uh sixth international women's anthology project as an author and artist and creative director, which I'm pretty excited about. And I've had some interviews with that too, which have been, I love my interviews and my panel discussions as an author. I think those are my favorites so far. Um, yeah. So with that being said, is I'm gonna just make the website easier for you all to go to see what I offer. So I'm going to have a media section with all my media, all the interviews, the magazine publications that I'm in, ministry articles, podcast, everything, you name it. Okay. And then services, it's just going to be boom, 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 boom. Now, I'm not one of those people who I like things to just be organic and natural. Okay. So, yes, there are a lot of business owners that work with all these different systems. They make everything automation, this, that, and the other. I like things to be natural. Okay. I like organic. I don't want to send out, just, I don't know. I like working with people one on one. That's why I do this. That's why I live and breathe and have my being, to connect with people in a real way. Yes, I love AI. Yes, I love automation. Yes, but I love working with people one on one. And as much as I love, you know, the idea of creating programs and mass selling the programs in my offerings, and I have 2 conscious masters courses that I've created. um, One is demystifying the whole like subject matter of parental alienation. Anybody who's separated from their children, whether it's through divorce, through the courts, through abuse, domestic violence, through a narcissistic spouse, anything you name it, I highly recommend that you purchase my Conscious Masters course, and email me at SheThatExists@gmail.com, and I'll give you the link to a payment link to purchase it, and make sure that you get it. Okay, so that's another announcement, is I like connecting with people. So let's connect. How can I help? How can I serve? I just call me old fashioned, but here's my email. Reach out, connect. Right now it's not so much that you're going to have to go through an assistant, or a secretary, or and take advantage of it, because it's not going to be like that forever. I've already cut off all the fake friends that I could stand. So my next announcement is, let's see, there's going to be a media section, a section for services. Okay. And then, next announcement, which I was a little bit hesitant about because it's a lot of responsibility. However, I am ordained and God has commissioned me. Life has commissioned me, or else I wouldn't be doing it. Sundays, I give my message. I come on here and I give my ministry message. This is my platform I use. Okay. A lot of ministers start out on YouTube, before they get their building, or, establish, whatever, whether it's a building or a church, or land, or, whatever. God has shown me the vision of what I'm going to have. And there's no point forcing things, or trying to make things happen before it's time. Destiny is destiny, and we can't rush that. Which I used to call myself a destiny coach, a manifest destiny coach, because I help with that too. I'm not a big bragger. I'm actually really humble. But with my mystic gifts and my seer gifts, and my visionary gifts and my soul seer gifts, and like the different gifts that I have, I coach with those too. But those services are not cheap. Okay. I don't give away my mojo for free anymore, and I'm not cheap. All right. I also do clean comedy. Okay. So let me go back to the announcement. Is Wednesday nights. Okay. Because whenever I used to go to the Pentecostal church, you'd have your Sunday services and your Wednesday services, your Sunday morning and your Sunday night services, and then have your Wednesday services. So the Wednesday services that I'm offering, and this is near and dear to my heart, because I have been praying for my daughter since she was in my womb. Okay. In fact, I started praying for her before I knew she was a her, and started praying for her before she was even in my womb, and was praying for her before I even met her dad. And then whenever I met her dad, we prayed together, and we prayed that God would bless us with a family. And yeah, she's been covered in prayer, and her dad's been covered in prayer since I've known him. And in fact, her dad was covered in prayer before I met him, because I'd been praying for my future husband, for a very long time. And so the power of prayer. I've been interceding and praying in prayer for 33 years. I have 33. 33. Long years. Dedicated in my relationship with God, in my relationship with Yahushua HaMashiach, my master, Yahushua HaMashiach, my deliverer. Yahushua means the one who self-exists and delivers. So that's why I'm still here. I've been delivered from snares and entrapments since I came out of my mom's womb, and probably was divinely protected while I was in my mom's womb. She's never told me. She doesn't really talk about that. So with that being said, Wednesdays, God has ordained me and commissioned me to teach other moms and dads and parents how to pray for their children. So not only just how to pray for their children, but how to intercede in prayer for their children and the life of their children. So I'm humbled and I'm honored because it's a lot of responsibility. However, responsibility in Latin simply means to respond to your soul's calling and your soul's purpose. And I'm humbled and honored that God, Creator, Life, would trust me to do this. So I said, God, how am I gonna do this? Because there's always questions, right? You know, how am I gonna do this? How do I know what to say? Where do I start? You know, how's this gonna happen? You know, because my time is valuable, and this is what I'm doing. And God told me that I'm gonna sponsor it. I said, God, I'm not rich. How am I gonna sponsor this? And and then God said, well, your business, She That Exists, is going to sponsor it. So I said, okay. So She That Exists is sponsoring me as Reverend Stone to come on here and teach here live every Wednesday to teach moms and dads how to intercede through prayer for the lives of their children. Now, if you feel called and you feel led, and my messages resonate with you on a soul level, and you feel called and led to sponsor Wednesday nights for me to facilitate and to teach and host the gatherings on Wednesday nights to teach moms and dads how to pray and intercede for the lives and souls and hearts and minds and spirits of their children of all ages, because I'm a child of God. Best identity in the world to have as a child of God. No one can take that one from you. You know, people can call you a lot of things and try to turn you against yourself. But nobody could take your identity from you when you're a child of God. And I gave my life to God at 15. Knew consciously at 12. You know, probably knew whenever I was younger, you know, and definitely knew whenever I was younger. I remember being like 3 or 4 and asking my dad questions about death and him not being able to give me the right answers. And I knew, I was like, he's not giving me the right answers. He's not telling me everything I need to know. So with that being said, yeah, that's Wednesday nights. If you want to give to Wednesday nights privately and you don't want to be a sponsor, that's fine too. You can give privately. Just reach out to me to give privately. Or if you want to be a sponsor, then we can discuss that, how you can be a sponsor individually, or you could be a sponsor with your business. If you have a business and your brand aligns with prayer and teaching other moms and dads how to pray and intercede for the life of their children. I am facilitating this sacred gathering as an ordained minister and as a Yahushuan. So, and Yahushua means the one who self-exists and delivers. So, with that being said, what's today? You just wake up, I'm like, I thought it was Friday, but nope, it's Saturday. So, okay. So tomorrow I give my ministry message. I'll probably start giving the Sunday ministry messages every Sunday at 7:00. I haven't had like a set time when I do it, but may as well have a set time so everybody knows. Okay. What's the next announcement? Oh, my website, Carrie D. Stone. www.carriedstone, KERIDIED, stone.com. Okay, it's in the description. So I'm not spending a lot of time like building that out right now because that's another investment. And right now I got investments invested just spread wide out and deep. And however, Carrie D. Stone, that website is going to have all my accomplishments from whenever I was like 3. To all it's going to basically be like my curriculum vitae on one website, and then how I specialize in select coaching. All right, now I'm probably going to make it private select coaching. However, those services are not cheap. Okay, not cheap, like at all, because my parents had me performing at Storybook Playhouse Theater whenever I was 3, played in all these sports. My parents have a lot of money invested in me performing at Storybook Playhouse and gymnastics meets uh, and dance and sports, uh, private select softball. Um, I'm the one who hit the home run for our team Eagles package deal in private select softball in my early teen years that took us to tri-state. So my parents have a lot of money invested in me, and like to see the fruits of all that. Their late bloomer daughter. No, I say that very lightheartedly. Okay. Oh no, my internet's glitching. It's like slowing. Okay. All right. All right. All jokes aside, even though I do plain comedy. Okay. So, anyway, the private select coaching services are not cheap, especially because everything that I have invested, I started investing in myself whenever I got my first job at Crazy Jose's as a cashier at 15 years old. And my investments in myself started in books, right? So I'd buy everything from different counselors, all these different religious books. At 15 years old, I was reading The Dangers of Pharmaceutical Prescription Drugs and Pharmaceutical Mental Health Drugs. Like I was reading all the dangers at 15. My parents were like, we do not know what to do with her, so we'll just give her to God, right? But however, I am an anomaly. I am a phenom, and it makes sense. So, because I've directed my own show, produced my own show, I won't go into the film about the show, but the promo is up there somewhere in YouTube land called The Moonflower Show. So I got a lot invested. So these private select coaching services, especially for artists and performers, um, and the gifted and the talented, um, yeah, aspiring anything, my services are not cheap because I already gave a platform back in 2014-15 era to a bunch of people for free, different aspiring artists, performers, musicians, speakers, different gifted and talented people, and the arts and the healing arts and the spiritual healing arts and everything else. Gave for free, a bunch of users, didn't even say thank you, just users, 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 users. Okay. Starting to cut out. Okay, so with that being said, that's the announcement with that. And then I'm sure there are more announcements, but I'm just going to leave it at that. For services reached out to me. With any questions, reach out. Let's see what else. With that being said, I'm going to go focus on my master's degree and have some other things I need to look at. I have some interview questions I need to answer for a magazine. Oh, yeah, that's it. So other than that, I just want to say happy birthday to my mom again and Mom, I love you. And I'm so grateful that I get to be your baby girl because you had 2 children. And I'm grateful and thankful that I get to be your baby girl. And with that being said, one of the last times that I see my parents, I asked them if we could all pray together. My dad was never big for praying with us. So I was grateful that my dad and mom prayed with me, and they didn't know what to do with me. And so we all prayed together. Uh, and God brought me exactly where I need to be for such a time as this, for what I needed, for for my purpose and my life and my destiny. And I was even able to write a story about it in an international women's anthology called Becoming an Unstoppable Woman, Rise of the Phoenix. So with that being said, the 6th Women's International Anthology project I've been working on that is out, that I've finished working on. I think we have one more studio recording for an interview for it. But it is called Becoming an Unstoppable Woman, Rise of the Entrepreneur. And that was fun to create because I kept it simple, shared just simple things, and put an offer in the book for anyone who purchases the book who wants to work with me. And I think I even put out a free offer to receive my intro business foundational course for God-centered, creator-centered, spiritual-centered, soul-centered people who are aspiring to just step into themselves and believe in themselves. Oh, final announcement just for this video. Creator's really putting it on my heart to help people connect to their gifts and talents and the gifts of the Holy Spirit. I'll say the Ruach because that's what it is in Hebrew. And it's the set apart spirit, the breath, set apart spirit. So there are different gifts of the Holy Spirit, and Creator's really put it on my heart to start helping people connect to the gifts of the Holy Spirit. So maybe that's something that I'll do and go live during the week, during the day. Maybe I'll start a special group. Maybe it'll be a membership. However, I know that it's needed, especially people who are graduating from the state-funded school system. One time I met my family member's girlfriend, and I just asked her, I was like, hey, what are your gifts and talents? Because like they just graduated from high school. So I was asking her about her gifts and talents, and just like, I don't know, like, what are you gonna be when you grow up or whatever. I never had anybody lay all the pieces out there for me and say, these are your gifts and talents. This is what you need to focus on, get a job doing this, start a business doing this. I wish I would have had the me that I am today. I wish I would have had me at 12. I wish I would have had me at 15. Because I didn't have parents that led and guided me in the way that I needed. And I had one friend, he's crossed over and on the other side now. But I had one friend who told me that I'm such an advanced soul and I'm so gifted and I have such a huge anointing on my life. He said, your parents should have dropped you off at the temple when you were a baby. I was like, yeah, thanks. But hey, a lot of the great prophets, their mothers gave them to priests whenever they got older. I don't know about the female prophets, but I know that there are male prophets who, when they weaned from their mother's breast and that way, back in the day, that they were sent to go live with priests so that they can learn the ways of God because they're higher calling in the priesthood. So I don't know. Today I'm a Yehushuan priestess, and an ordained minister. So, and I'm on the ancient path, and my soul's knowing is more of the ancient ways. And as a mystic, we spend most of our time connecting to God within. So yeah. Anyway, with that being said, you're the audience. All right. So it's your job to connect with me. Now, my battery is running low, so I'm going to end this live. And this is She That Exists with She That Exists, her story channel. And as always, I'll be back. And happy birthday, Mama. Till next time.